puppy buyers was maybe struggling a little bit with getting her puppy brushed. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about brushing and give you some tips. So this is one of my puppies from my recent litter, and she needs a grooming, but she can get a brush. Most poodles need to be brushed once a week, even if they're shaved short, you know, the top of the head, the ears, and the tail for the adults. And with puppies, we want to brush them a couple times a week because they need to practice. So you want to have a high quality brush. I like to use the Activet brushes. Those are my preference. They are a very expensive brush, but they are extremely high quality, and they hold up and they go through the poodle hair. I lost my one I really like, but I use the Activet Gold or Green. This is the Activet purple and red combo in the large size, and this is for matting. This is good for poodles, but it is extremely tough brush, so it needs to be used with a light hand. So I would advise, if you get the Activet, that you get the gold or the green or the combo. And then some people like the Christensen brushes. Those are not a preference of mine, but they are very popular with poodle owners. And then you need a steel comb with metal teeth. Look, there's some on here. And as demonstrated, you need some treats. I've been a fan of the squeezed cheese because it's junk food and the puppies really like it. It's easy to feed. I also like to use a brush out spray. I generally use the Best Shot brush out sprays, the vitalizing mist. That just cuts the static. You don't need that, but I think it is helpful. So what you're going to want to do, you see I have my puppy up on a card table. When I have a puppy on the ground or in a chair, you know, I start to get where the puppy's sort of in her space, and they're much more likely to be reactive and want to move around. So I advise you to put the puppy up. When I have an adult dog, I can easily brush them on the couch in front of the TV, but a puppy often needs to be put up somewhere out of their space. So if you get a grooming table, if you have a card table, or you put like a rug on top of your washing machine, something like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the puppy up on the table, and I'm gonna do a light spritz on the areas that I wanna work on. And then I'm going to brush through the coat. And we don't need to line brush this puppy. I can do a video on that later, but I just need to brush through her coat and break up the static. And then I'm gonna pick her up and brush. And then she's being really good, so I'm gonna stop her. I'm gonna give her a little reward. And then this little leg is so curly, and so I'm gonna brush down the leg. And I'm gonna do all the way to the toes, and I'm gonna do the inside of the leg as well. Now here you see she's trying to bite the brush. This is the worst time to stop. So even if I'm doing nothing, good. I'm gonna continue to brush until the puppy stops. And then I'm going to click, if I use clicker training, and reward that puppy immediately for that behavior. So I'm gonna spray that leg, brush. And you see here she's trying to grab the brush again. I'm not gonna stop until she stops. Good. Because what you don't want to do is reward them when they're misbehaving. So when they are fighting and you stop, the only thing they learn is, well, that's a great idea. I'll just keep doing that. I'll just keep biting or thrashing around or rolling around. So I'm going to brush her leg. I'm going to get up here in this armpit, make sure I go down to the armpit, and I'm going to reward because that's a sensitive area. And And she's kind of starting to already figure out, this is a smart puppy. She's starting to figure out that if she just stands here, she gets what she wants. She's also like figuring out the squeeze cheese situation, trying to get it out of there. Now you could definitely put a leash on your puppy, or if you have a puppy that's jumping around, you can have someone help you hold them on the table. You can also brush them in your lap, but again, we want to try to get them kind of up and away and a little bit more of our world instead of theirs. This is a groomer's trick. So I'm going to cover the eyes. I'm going to spray the ears and the head. Brush the head. I'm going to make sure to pull that ear forward, and I'm going to get behind that ear. And I'm going to flip that ear over and do the inside. A puppy this age has hardly any hair, and that's a big benefit because they're very easy to do. Once you've brushed through the whole coat, then you have to comb through the whole coat. So start on the coat. Now, if your puppy's not as patient as this, and you're having to stop and constantly either reward, or you're having, the puppy is trying to bite or nip, or is racing around, jumping off the table, you might not brush as much as this. But what I don't want you to do is stop because the puppy said stop. You're going to stop when you have done what you need to do while it's still a positive session. Even if you can't brush your whole puppy like I just did here, it doesn't really matter. You can brush part of it one day, end it on a positive note, and then brush a little bit more. So she's all finished and all brushed out, so she gets a nice treat. She's a good little girl. And then I'm not going to let her jump down. I'm going to put her down because I'm the one that ends the session, not her. Also, it's not safe for her to jump down, but I want her to realize that when she's on the table, I'm the one in control, and then she will be more cognizant of staying on the table. So that's a good way to brush a puppy. She was better behaved than I thought she'd be. Be a good girl.